This is the DAPs Magic Rankings, where I, Murray, take rides, parks, and other Disney park elements and rank them in order. This time, I'll be ranking the main streets around the world. Ever since the opening of Disneyland, there has been some version of Main Street in every Magic Kingdom park. For the purposes of ranking these lands, I'm including a couple that aren't actually called Main Street, but they are definitely of that genre. And here we go with the countdown. Number 6. Hong Kong Disneyland. Hong Kong Disneyland may be a bit cookie cutter, but I think their Main Street improves upon the original. There are details like brick streets, a gazebo, and some styles of the shops and restaurants that make it a good version of the original. Out of all the main streets, the Hong Kong one is probably the smallest, or at least feels that way. But there are a few attractions within this land. There is a unique attraction to any main street called the Art of Animation. Inside, there's an art academy and a chance to meet a Disney character. Besides this attraction, there's still the Disneyland Railroad and vehicles. Its size is probably the weakest link for the land. Despite this, it's still an excellent place to visit. Number 5. Tokyo Disneyland's World Bazaar. World Bazaar is probably the most bizarre main street out of them all. It takes after the Disneyland and Magic Kingdom Main Street, but with a big difference. It's under glass. Where it's a neat feature to help with the frequent inclement weather, it's a little jarring to still have a town right underneath it. Even though it's under glass, the buildings are full-sized. There's enough room here to have a Club 33 and a special cross street that provides a shortcut between Tomorrowland and Adventureland. Compared to the other main streets, there isn't as much to do here. It's the shopping and the dining that is the main feature here. These actually are great features, as Tokyo Disneyland is known for its merchandise and food. The lack of attractions puts it almost at the bottom though. It's the rain refuge feature that puts it a little higher on the list. Number 4. Magic Kingdom. It's not too different from the original, but Magic Kingdom has added some elements to make this main street feel more like a real town. The train station, for example, has a layout that makes it seem more like an actual transportation hub. The eateries, like Casey's Corner, have that small town quaintness and detail that almost gives a history lesson. I would consider the size to be a small weakness though. Having ran through it twice for races, it's a little long, but what makes it a little more intimidating is the size of the buildings. They may not be full-sized, but they're still large-looking. With the main walkway being quite wide, it adds to that feeling that the buildings are towering over you. But Magic Kingdom's Main Street has a lot to take in. The Disneyland Railroad Station is here. Next to it is the Main Street Theater, where you can visit Talking Mickey and Tinkerbell. Across the way is Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom, one of the hidden gems of the park. There are Main Street vehicles and lots of opportunities to shop and dine. It's a good amount that can take up a couple of visits really to check everything out. So it's the attractions that really set it higher up on the list. Number 3. Disneyland. The original was the only one overseen by Walt himself. It has that great Walt Disney hometown feel with the details that have been mainstays in the other parks. It's the land that set up all the others. For both buildings and length of the street, it has a good size. The buildings are not too big, and neither is the street. It's still small in comparison to others and thus packs in everything in sometimes close quarters. Besides great shopping and some famous dining, there are a couple of the best Main Street attractions at this land. Disneyland Railroad is one of the best in the world, and Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln is a Walt Disney original. Number 2. Shanghai Disneyland's Mickey Avenue. Mickey Avenue is a cross between Main Street and Toontown. It's the main street that Mickey built. It is supposed to be a town where the Toons live and play. The amount of detail in this land is amazing. Mickey Avenue is a big land. It doesn't seem that way on first appearance. In fact, it seems like the smallest main street because of its length of the main boulevard, where the length isn't long and makes up for it in width. From the main path are small side streets that hold shops and eating places. There are so many things to see and explore within Mickey Avenue. It's beautiful to take pictures in and of. But there is only one attraction, Mickey's Film Festival. It's an upgraded version of the Main Street Cinema. It's a great theater, but not a big stop in the park. Mickey Avenue just needs a little more for the average guest. For big Disney fans, it's a buffet of Disney animation delight. You can spend a whole day perusing the details on buildings. For its originality and immersiveness, it gets almost the top spot. The lack of attractions is what brings it down. Number 1. Disneyland Paris. Paris expands on the original Main Street, not just in detail and size, but even time frame. It is a little past the turn of the century, judging from the types of vehicles that are used and more use of electricity. It's that kind of detail that makes this a very immersive Main Street, more so than those that came before it. Paris has a bit of a grand scale like Magic Kingdom's and Tokyo Disneyland's, but the way it is laid out makes it not as overwhelming. The streets aren't as wide as Magic Kingdom's, for example. Compared to Mickey Avenue, there are a lot more attractions. The Disneyland Railroad is one of the better in the world. The vehicles help add detail to the land, and there are 2 arcade passageways that provide refuge from frequent inclement weather and galleries to look at. It also has one of the best Disney Park restaurants, Walt's. This Main Street is beautiful, elegant, and fun. All of this puts it in the top spot. So, what did you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let us know in the comments down below. And also, check out dapsmagic.com for a full post on the subject. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and come back because I'll be adding more and more lists from the world of Disney. And also, we have some fun videos as you can see, so come back again very soon.